All right, we're back, everyone. We're going for part two of the study today. Our last chapter of the Torah portion here. We're going to be going to Joshua chapter 2. All right, let me get my microphone here. All right, so Joshua chapter 2, or Yahusha chapter 2. Yahusha, the son of Nun, sent out of Satin 2 young men to spy the land, saying, "Go up and view the land of and Jericho." And the 2 young men went and entered into Jericho. They entered into the house of a harlot, whose name Rahab, and lodged there. And it was reported to the king of Jericho, saying, "Men of the sons of Yasharel had come in here to spy the land." And the king of Jericho sent and spoke to Rahab, saying, "Bring out the men that entered into your house this night, for they are come to spy out the land." And the woman took the 2 men and hid them, and she spoke to the messenger, saying, "The men came in to me, but when the gate was shut in the evening, the men went out. I know not where they are gone. Follow after them, if you may overtake them." Okay. But she brought them upon the black stocks that were spread by her on the house. And the men followed after them in the way to Jordan, to the fords, and the gate was shut. And it came to pass, when the men who pursued after them were gone forth, and before the spies had laid down to sleep, that she came up on top of the house, and she said to them, "I know that Yahuwah has given you the land, for the fear of you has fallen upon us. For we have heard that Yahuwah Elohim dried up the Red Sea before you, when you came out of the land of Egypt, and all that he did to the 2 kings of the Amorites, who were beyond Jordan, to Sihon and Og, whom you utterly destroyed. When we heard it, we were amazed in our heart, and there was no longer any spirit in any of us because of you. For Yahuwah, your Elohim, is Elohim in heaven above and on earth beneath. And now swear to me by Yahuwah Elohim, since I deal mercifully with you, so do you also deal mercifully with the house of my father, and save alive the house of my father, my mother, and my brothers, and all my house, and all that they have, and you shall rescue my soul from death. And the men said to her, "Our life for yours." Okay, striking a bargain here to death, or you could even say making a covenant here.
That's nice.
I'm just saying, they're kind of like, all right, you want
That's basically what it
you
was.
want us to protect you, you better make sure we don't get killed to death. And she said, "When Yahuwah shall have delivered the city to you, you shall deal mercifully and truly with me." She let them down by the window, and she said to them, "Depart into the hill country, lest the pursuers meet you, and you shall be hidden there 3 days until your pursuers return from after you, and afterwards you shall depart on your way." Which, by the way, if you think about it, if you misunderstand the context of which nations they're not supposed to make covenants with, you would think that's a contradiction, because she's of the land of Jericho, she's not natural born Israelite, and they're making a covenant with her, right? So if you take like Deuteronomy to the extreme, that chapter from Deuteronomy where it says make no covenants with them, don't be allies with them, don't make agreements with them and all that. If you miss the whole context of that, you would take that to extreme literal, and you would think there's a contradiction in Joshua here. But actually, she's not of one of those nations they're not to make a covenant with. So there were specific tribes You're not supposed to covenants with, not every Gentile nation. Just wanted to expound upon that a little bit. Okay. So verse 17 here, and the men said to her, we are clear of this oath. Behold, we shall enter into a part of the city, and you shall set a sign. You shall bind this scarlet cord in the window by which you have let us down. You shall bring into yourself, into your house, your father and your mother and your brothers and all the family of your father. It shall come to pass that whosoever shall go outside the door of your house has guilt shall be upon him. We shall be quit of this your oath, and we will be responsible for all that shall be found with you in your house. But if anyone should injure us and betray these our matters, we shall be, released of this your oath. And she said to them, let it be according to your word. And she sent them out, and they departed. They came to the hill country, remained there 3 days. And the pursuers searched all the roads and found them not. And the 2 young men returned and came out of the mountain. And they went over to Yahusha, son of Nun, and told him all the things that had happened to them. They said to Yahusha, Yahuwah has delivered all the land into our power, and all the inhabitants of that land tremble because of us. So now they're giving the report back to Yahusha, son of Nun. So that's the end of our Joshua portion here. Pretty much self-explanatory what's going on here. A lot of people like to point fingers and say, well, this is contradictory. They had Rahab lie, and somehow she's considered righteous. What you got to understand is what's Yahuwah's greater purpose, though? Worried about Rahab lying for them, or the fact that that land is to be given to his covenant people? What's the bigger issue there? Okay, so sometimes Yahuwah has allowances that maybe seem wrong to us, but has a greater purpose.
Right.
And he's not giving, like, you can't take this verse of itself that talks about, she lied to the king of Jericho, and so that they wouldn't be found. We can't take that concept and then just start saying, oh, see, this gives us the green card to start lying to everyone. That's no. So
No.
I just want to make that clear, that because I can see how people could take that in a weird way. They could take that to mean we have the license to lie now.
She had righteous motives.
No, she had righteous motives. She knew, obviously, even these pagan nations knew the covenant promise Yahuwah made to Abraham and all that generations later. So, she even knew who Yahuwah was, as we see in this chapter. So, anyway. But I just wanted to explain about that, because I know some people could take it in a wrong way and start saying, oh, yeah, see, we can lie.
Danger taking things out of context.
Yep, I agree. So now we're about to do the prophets portion. I think we're going to have to split this up. This is going to be a pretty big portion here. So we're going to have Isaiah chapters 6 to 9 next. And then we will be doing Ezra chapter 1 to 5. I think, Mom, I'm going to be giving you right away. We'll be doing Isaiah chapter 6 to 9 for you.
Okay.
And then we'll pick someone else for Ezra 1 to 5. Okay, so. And then obviously our Brit Hadashah portion is the last portion we'll do after that with 1st and 2nd Corinthians. So we'll break that up between a couple people. Okay, so my mom, stay tuned, everyone. We're going to start a new recording immediately for the prophets portion, because this is going to be a long portion. This is going to be at least a good 9 total chapters. So stay with us. I'm going to be starting a new recording and a new Facebook Live. So stay tuned, everyone. Shalom. All right.